Out of all the plethora of moves, whether it be strike supers, ki blast, skills like super skills or ultimates, regardless of how you think of it, all of these moves can be categorized in three categories, and that is, first one is like legit, like nothing's wrong with it. The second one is like OP. There's like, it's not broken, it's not like cheap, but it's like very fucking OP and very effective. And then there's just straight up broken, cheese, cheap, whatever you want to call it, and just like easy to abuse and all that. So I'm gonna break down these three categories and how you can really just categorize any type of move that you want under one of these three. Now I won't be comparing any races or like custom created characters in this video, but if you are interested in seeing, like, for example, which ones are more broken or OP, whether it be humans or Saiyans, I'd suggest you click the link in the description below, and it will be in the comment section below too. It's a link to Bowman's video, and he dissected the humans versus Saiyans and compared them and contrasted them, and it's a pretty well organized video, and I can agree with it for the most part. So if you want to watch a good informative video comparing two races, whether it be the humans or Saiyans, and he may make some more, I'm not sure about that, click the link in the description below. But I'll get on with the rest of this video. So first I'm gonna talk about the legit moves. So like legit, that's just simply moves that can be effective. They're like average, basically. They can be bad, they can suck. It's like anywhere between suck and average, to where like you actually got to go through some stuff to combo it. It's just not like easy as hell to combo or anything like that. For example, I think Masenko is like a legit move, and there's a bunch of legit moves in the game. There's Darkness Eye Beam, I believe that's what it's called. There's that cooler move, the little eye beam one. It's easy to, for the most part, easy to combo, and it does what it say it's supposed to do. Though moves like that, they're pretty much like fun to use. They're pretty effective if you use them right, but they're not too overly effective. Like imagine if like that cooler move, the little eye beam one that it lifts you up and you can continue a combo off of it. Imagine if that shit did a bunch more damage. All right, now that would be OP, but it wouldn't be cheap. You see, it does what it's supposed to, and it does some damage with it. Now, as for characters, let's say a legit character, well, not really, for the most part, like average. All right, let's say Krillin, Tien, Yamcha. These characters, they might have their little perks at times. Like Yamcha, I know he has some shit going on with him, but he's not broken, or he's not cheap, he's not OP, because he's legit. He doesn't really do that much damage, depending on, well, as far as I know. But like Team Gohan, I know that him for sure is legit, because boy, if you're not fighting with him in a 3v3 and your teammates don't die, you basically got reduced stats out the ass. There's a bunch of legit characters in the game as well, and most of the times these legit characters won't be played as, because you can't easily abuse them, or they're not OP, or they don't have like something OP about them. That's the thing. Now I'm gonna be explaining these categories, but I'm gonna also compare them with not only moves but regular characters as well. So for the next one, talk about OP stuff. Alright, so an OPS move is like a move that does an ass ton of damage and relatively easy to pull off. For example, Justice Combination does an ass ton of damage, pretty easy to pull off. You can do it when they have like 1 bar stamina or not. Like, it's stuff like that. Victory Rush, some people Victory Rush does do more damage than Justice Combination, but the fact is most people use Justice Combination because they do Justice Combination, the quick recovery with the Shining Slash, and then hit you with another Justice Combination. Victory Rush can kind of be categorized in that same thing, but for strikes, it's kind of an exception because they barely have any strike moves. They hardly have any strike moves. Now that doesn't give someone a reason to hit you with 2 Justice Combinations in a row, or hit you with a Dragon Fist as soon as your stamina about to come back, but there's just a difference. Now Justice Combination, OP. Now legit moves, like a legit strike super move would be Gordo's move, but we're all for that legit stuff, the OP stuff. So yeah, OPS moves like that. For another example, Super Mad Dance to an extent. I know some people like to constantly do the up one and then bring it back, but it's completely optional. But if they do the downward, you can't recover when you're down. So it just depends on certain stuff. Like Perfect Shot, if it could ever connect, that would be considered slightly OP. Just slightly, because the fact is, like Evil Eyes, I know this is for an example because I know that move hits. I'm gonna use this for an example instead, because most likely people can relate to Evil Eyes more since it hits more. So with Evil Eyes, all you have to do is knock them away, then hit Evilize. And depending on your Ki Blast, like for the most part, that can do a half a bar of damage. But it take away half a health bar. So yeah, that can be considered OP because it does a quick amount of damage in an easy amount of time, and it's relatively easy to connect. Now as for an example for original characters, I'd say Hit. Now Hit and Gogeta for the most part, because they can compete with cast characters. Those two regular characters, I know damn well for sure can compete with custom characters. All right, look at their stamina, look at how much damage they do, and not for really much for moves. I mean, Gogeta has Punisher Drive, but that's optional to use. But look at their stats. Hit he can do a shit ton of damage in one card. That's if you don't transform. He can do a shit ton of damage. All right, Gogeta, he can do a shit ton of damage too. Especially that little he also has an unvanishable combo that does an ass ton of damage, and it's like the ultimate. It's like the ultimate stamina bait. That little combo. It's like the kick up combo where you kick him a bunch of times. Not super mad dance, but it looks like it in the middle of his combo. So yeah, that combo is like fucking out of this world. That's why I made that video expressing why we shouldn't have, like, our custom characters shouldn't have regular character combos. But yeah, on to that, these characters are not cheap. They're just OP. They do an ass ton of damage, but they're not necessarily easy to use. Now Hit, to an extent, is pretty easy to use, but the fact is, Gogeta, that nigga is not easy to use. He is not easy to use at all. So if you learn how to use him, you get a big reward payoff. All right, he is OP, but if you learn how to use him, well, that's just how it is. They made him OP just in case if someone actually wants to learn how to use him, which many people has. So yeah, these are two examples for regular character wise of OP regular characters. But now I'm about to get on to like cheap, not necessarily OP, not like does too much damage or whatever, really effective, but like straight up broken, not supposed to be in the game. Well, not necessarily supposed to be in the game, but the way it is used, not supposed to be in the game. And pretty much the perfect example is Dragon Fist. You know, you hit somebody with it, they can't evade unless they got one-handed Kamehameha, and that's just because one-handed Kamehameha lets you evade in the middle of people's like moves or combos. All right, if it wasn't for that, then there'd be no way to escape out of Dragon Fist. And the fact that you have to put on a move just to escape another move that's supposed to be vanishable, that's completely bullshit. Dragon Fist is like basically the perfect example of cheap, because it's guaranteed damage once you get the first hit off. And if you don't have to stamina break anybody, to be honest, if I'm using a move and I catch somebody with like 1 bar of stamina, all I have to do is hit them with Dragon Fist. Stamina breaks is not necessary because I can take away like basically a bar of health without having to break that stamina. So now they take a bar of health of damage that they can't evade, and for the most part they also don't gain any stamina from that hit. So they basically, if they have 1 bar of stamina when I hit them with Dragon Fist, when I start off with Dragon Fist, by the end of the move they'll only have 2 bars of stamina. They'll gain 1 stamina bar from that. Then I can stamina break them and do whatever. See, that's that bullshit. As far as cheap cast characters go, there is no like cast character that's cheap. They're like I mentioned, Hit and Gogeta, they are OP, but they're not cheap. They're not like necessarily too broken or any sense. Like they're not doing stuff that they're not supposed to. Whatever they do, they're supposed to. Now you could argue Gogeta's combos are supposed to be vanishable, but you can test that on online or offline rather. And if it's offline and you still can't vanish the combos, then they're not supposed to be vanishable. It's simple as that. Now, for the most part, you could argue that Gogeta and Goku with Dragon Fist equip are OP because they have OP moves. But no, that's not necessarily the case, because it's up to the user if they want to use those moves and if they want to abuse those moves. It's not up to the characters, because the characters, they come in how Bandai makes them. We can't adjust what they have. However they are is how we have to use them, and we have to adjust and find the combos for them. All right, so that's my video for today. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment to let me know what you thought of this video, and I think I categorized everything pretty much well in this. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all later.